Hello travellers, and welcome to the first devlog for our game Lightsmith. Ta-da! Let's do this. So to start, we should probably introduce ourselves. We are A Few Dragons, a small Australian indie studio. We're also working on an as yet unreleased game called The Sacred Acorn. And if you'd like to know more about that game, you can find devlogs for it on our channel. For now though, we want to show you a little bit more Lightsmith. Lightsmith is a crafting sim set in a world that's been plunged into total darkness. You play as a lightsmith, a special individual that is able to craft with light matter. You need to help restore the town of Gloomsdale and help it and its residents thrive again. Sounds easy, right? Well, maybe not so easy. One of the key features of our game is your light. Every person emits their own light, illuminating their immediate surroundings. But your light dims as you go about your day, eventually shrinking down to almost nothing. It's thankfully restored by sleeping, but it can be scary if you're out collecting resources too long, because with no light you will get easily lost. So our game came about as a game jam entry for a game jam last year. We were originally just working on it as sort of a fun little side project, but when we were telling people about it, they seemed to really like it. And so we decided to just keep working on it after the game jam was over. You can see here a little bit of footage from its humble beginnings. Anyway, we were having so much fun building on it after the game jam that we decided to keep going with it. Fast forward a few months and we released it in early access on Steam. And yes, that means that if you're already liking the look of our game, you can get it on Steam or itch right now. The links to do so are just below. Anyway, back to the game. We released in early access and that release was a little bit slow, but we were kind of expecting that. We haven't released a game before, let alone in early access, and we didn't entirely know what to expect with that release, but we were pretty excited to see that not only were people wishlisting the game when it was released, people were buying it as well. And the people that were buying it were really enjoying it. We had some people that were streaming it and other people that were talking about it. It was really exciting for us. We had people joining the Discord talking about it, and people were very active in letting us know about bugs. So we started really building on our community when we released in early access. So we're really, really glad that we did. And it's just kind of nice to see that something that we've made people are really enjoying. We're still learning a lot about releasing in early access or releasing a game at all. We've probably still got a lot to learn in terms of marketing a game, but we're learning as we go, and we hope that when we release our next game, we'll be able to utilize all of these lessons that we've learned and make that release even better. On our initial release of the game, the very first release in early access, we released the game as pretty much very basic and bare bones. We'd already built on it quite a bit compared to what we had submitted for the game jam, but we'd already expanded the crafting tree to 30 items. There was wood, rock, metal and light as crafting materials, and we'd already added some quests from the Gloomsdale villages as well, along with some very simple town management stuff. Not a huge amount of content compared to what we're hoping the game will be much later on down the line, but it was enough to give people a taste and a feel for what we're hoping to turn the game into. Just before the next release, so the 0.2 release, we did a big update on the game's key art in the Steam store and on itch, and people seemed to love that. Eye-catching art makes a huge difference on the Steam store in particular, and we saw an increase in store page traffic and wish lists at that point. We didn't see a lot of game sales yet, but we were kind of expecting that with the game still being so early in development. Shortly after that, we had our 0.2 release, and this was done around Halloween, so we had a whole bunch of spooky content that we added. And just to give you an idea of what we added, there was, as I said, Halloween content, spooky stuff. We added key rebinding, so people were able to rebind their keys. It was a big quality of life thing that we wanted to add for accessibility reasons. We added the clock tower, NPCs having schedules, so them being on a schedule in terms of where they were and what they were doing through the day. We added a lot of landmarks. One of the biggest pieces of feedback that we got for the first release was how easy it was to get lost. The map was very open, and as soon as you started losing your light, like once you were down to at least half light, it became very easy to get lost while you were out and about collecting resources. So we changed the map, we added a whole heap of new landmarks, and that's really helped people to get and keep their bearings while they're exploring. We also added some very basic character customization. So we added a few different hairstyles. We've been keeping the character that you play itself fairly gender neutral. So there's a couple of short hairstyles and a couple of long hairstyles. We're hoping to be able to add a lot more in the future and eventually make it so that you can completely customize your character, similar to what you can do in Stardew Valley. But for now, early days, we wanted to try and add at least a little bit of representation in there. We also added a Linux build, which was exciting, and roaming critters. There were a bunch of bug fixes that we put in as well, and on the Steam store page you can see the patch notes that we've added there, if you wanted to get a little bit more detail on that. Something else that we added, which we really, really loved, was we added some special hidden Easter egg content for some of our community members that had helped with reporting bugs and also telling people about the game and really helping us to promote the game. That was something that we were able to do that we really loved, and we hope that we can do again. Our next release, which was around Christmas time, was our 0.3 content, and that included music updates. The music was much more moody and changed depending on where you were, just to help with navigation. We added a few new areas. And the biggest thing was probably adding the new quest system and quest log. And we have lots planned for that. That's going to be a big one for us in terms of being able to really build on the content and really flesh the game out. As well as adding some new quests. I mean, if you've got a new quest system, may as well add a few new quests, right? There were a few other bug fixes that we put through as well, and we keep doing micro patches to maintain the game and fix things as people report bugs to us. Like, we love how active the community has been in that sense. That most recent update was more expanding the game map and adding foundational stuff that we're going to be building on. But it's exciting. We're looking forward to seeing how that's going to pan out in terms of what we're going to be adding and how that looks. Yeah. Overall, we've been pretty happy with the development and with the early access release of Lightsmith, and we're really looking forward to being able to bring more content to the game. Speaking of more content, here is a sneak peek of what the game will look like with the 0.4 release that is coming very soon. How great does that look? I'm really excited. You should be really excited. We can't wait to show you all of the other stuff that we've got coming as well. As I mentioned earlier in the devlog, the game is available on both Steam and itch, so if you're liking the look of it, you can head on over there and buy the game from either of those platforms. It's also great to wishlist or follow on those platforms if you are interested but you're not quite ready to get the game. That way you can stay up to date. You can also stay up to date by subscribing to our channel here. We'll hopefully be doing some more devlogs very soon. You can also sign up to our newsletter and join our Discord. We have links for all of those at the bottom here. On top of that, if you'd like to support us beyond buying our game, we have some merch available on our website, and we have some Lightsmith designs coming very, very soon. So make sure you check back there. You should also check out the very, very cute squirrel naptime shirt we have. Highly recommend. Anyway, that's kind of it for this devlog. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that we get to show you some more updates soon. Until then, why don't you check out some of the other devlogs that we have for our other game, The Sacred Acorn. Until next time, bye!